I love printing. I love printing. I love it. I love printing.
Hey everybody, welcome back to another session with me, of Printer to Printer, that is, with me, Warren Werbitt, and another distinguished guest who is returning to the podcast. He just had so much fun last time that I had to call him up and ask him to come back. He didn't call me, but we have Phil Kelley from Salem One. How you doing, Phil?
Doing great, Warren. I will call you if I need to, but thanks for the invite. Great to be back.
Always great to chat. Always good to talk to someone who's like-minded and happens to love what we do and love the industry. So before I get into anything, how about just a little update, Salem One? How's everything going? How's life? Print?
Yeah, life's good. We've had another blessed year. Major news, which I assume we'll talk about. We've gone on the market, become a platform-backed company, and I'm very excited about that, just beginning that process. So a lot of good stuff happening, a lot of challenge in the market, but we continue to be very, very excited about the future and what the market has for us.
Love it, love it. Always love starting off a conversation where everything is kind of more upbeat than not. So let's just right away, you guys went to market. You brought on a partner, equity partners, right? So I'm sure everyone's sitting there going, equity partners. How's that?
Well, we've had partnerships with private equity. I guess this is my third or fourth round, depending on how you count it, since 2007. So it's been part of the Salem One growth story. And I'll tell you, while I know the horror stories, and I had a similar horror story very early in my career, we've been very fortunate with our partnerships. We led with vision, with our own vision as we went to market this time. And that process does lead to others showing interest in you. And we had several larger companies interested in us. And I appreciate them, by the way. I appreciate that interest. But we really, this was not hidden. My entire leadership team, our entire previous board wanted this path. And I'm thrilled that we found partners, Granite Creek Capital and Patriot Capital, that came on board based on that vision. So it really was a deal, if you will, to expand our board and to add muscle and power behind our vision. And so that's very exciting, of course, to get that kind of not pat on the back, but that, yes, some strong players getting on your bus, that adds to what you can do. So very excited about that.
Cool. Sounds exciting. Do you get to still run it the way you want, or how does that go? Because just before you answer, just in general, people know when people bring in equity partners, they're looking to get their money back quickly and they're looking to cut things or, tighten things up.
Yeah, well, it's important to know what you're getting in bed with, so to speak. I've been fortunate to this not be my first time. So as I talk to other owners that are thinking about it, it certainly requires a certain type of thinking. I am a high growth desire leader. Salem One's averaged 17% growth since 1997. Wow. If you run the math on that, that just happens to fit the private equity model or desires of doubling in size every 5 to 7 years. And that's kind of just general canned reality. And so my growth desires fit those desires. So that's the kind of pressure or expectation Salem One leadership puts on ourselves. So it really has not been a negative for us when we don't meet those goals, and we certainly have those years where we don't, that we put that pressure on ourselves. Private equity does need and a return on their money, and that's an appropriate thing. We're asking for their money for investment. Right. So we got to work hard for that. So you definitely need to know what you're getting involved with, but it's just been a good marriage for us. We've always been very honest and specific with our vision. If we ever want to bail out, we can do that, but we don't. Right. And so we've been able to attract those partners that won't have longer term vision. And so anyway, you're going to get what you put forth, and we've been very fortunate so far.
Wow, no, that sounds pretty good. Wow, it sounds like you're harder on yourself than they're going to be on you, just with numbers like that. I don't think anybody expects 17% growth for the last 15 to 20 years, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, we do put pressure. It's available. Yeah, that's why I love this industry. It's available. I
oh my
promise.
God, pressure in this industry is like steadily, readily available,
Right.
right?
Just like delivering all of today's jobs on time. It's just another thing to
Another
load
thing
on
on
the back
the
of
plate,
them.
another normalcy,
That's right.
expectations.
We live with pressure. That's right.
Cool. And everybody in the company, everybody's good with the new partners and they don't feel anything or no.
Yeah, yeah. My original partner, Jerry Mahoney, was very influential to me and learning about this. He grew Melwell to what is Synveo today some years ago. Anyway, he was very influential to me. And when I first got together with him in private equity, he's like, you need to be very open with your folks because this is you're wanting to do this for the health of the company, for the growth of the company, for your people. Start educating them on what it means so they don't fear it. And so I really took that to heart,
I
and
like
we've been
that.
very open with our folks. And now we've been doing it for so long. I let them know before we even go to market, so there's no secrets, and they know I'm not planning to go anywhere. I do love what I do. I feel very blessed, continue to be blessed to be on this team and to be in this industry. So that has put everybody at ease, and now they're part of all conversations.
By the way, I would work for you.
Be careful what you wish for.
And I don't say that. I don't say that to many people.
Well, thank you. I know that's high praise. Thank you.
So that's pretty good. So when I was looking at the website, I noticed this summer you just past summer you just finished the GMI certification.
We did.
How'd that go? I know we did that way back when I was running packaging, and it's a lot of work.
It is, and for us, getting GMI certified at this point was actually pretty easy for us. But it really is a culmination of going. I think go to G7 first, get your processes under control, all of that, and once you have experience for that, it's not that large a step. But yes, the reporting of it, going through those processes, a lot of those certifications in the past, we haven't found them paying off, but this one certainly has, and we're making inroads in markets that were closed to us previously.
Yeah. So my own experience with the certification was we did it because some of our customers insisted that we have it.
Yep.
Never ever did we ever get a report or hear from anybody on anything that we ever printed, right?
Wow.
And some of it had to have been fluctuating a little in color when you're running, hundreds of thousands of sheets. But the GMI was great on the marketing side and the selling and helping the salespeople go out and get into new accounts, because it's just one more thing that someone else didn't have, but just talked about our processes and our will to do it right and our reporting if needed.
Yeah,
right.
I think that last thing you said is so important. It just certifies your will to get it right. It's another thing that says, hey, I'm not scared of this. Our processes are up to this standard, are beyond. We're very comfortable with it. I think that's the key.
Yeah, no, we did. I even went so far as to do, I don't think they do it anymore, but we became Pantone certified.
Oh, yes.
I ran with Pantone, and we had done it on offset digital, large format, and flexo.
Wow.
I think we were the only ones to, because I asked for the other three once we were doing the offset, and doing it. My goal. I had two goals in doing it. One was just to get everybody to work a little harder. Not that they weren't working hard, but harder, being smarter, more efficient. And you can't. It's going to sound bad. You can't beat your people to work harder, right? That doesn't work. Good leadership is doing it the right way, involving them. But the message that I had for them in doing that certification was, you know what, guys and girls, I said, we are the only ones like in 1,000 miles that's going to be Pantone certified. Everyone's looking at us. It gives us the opportunity to go in and talk to major brands about helping them, connecting them with other Pantone certified printers around the world. And then everybody just embraced it. And then the salespeople for having another tool to go out and to talk about something new, because salespeople run out of things to talk about, right? The ones that don't talk often. And I, so I would recommend to anyone, if you're serious, it's a great add-on to have for many reasons.
That's why we could work together well. We've approached G7 the same way, exactly as you
Mhm.
described, across offset, flexo, and digital. There's some challenges digitally with great equipment being G7 certified, but we said we don't care about the challenges. We want to get certified. And it's exactly what you said. It's not for the certification, although that is good from the sales side. It really is to set goals for our folks, give our internal production leadership and people something to achieve, and for you, what you said, to be the best. Simply the best is our mantra. We mean that humbly, but it really attracts our folks that we do want to be the best and set sights higher than anyone else. So amen to what you said, and we're following the same road.
Yeah, that's great. So going forward, what's the vision? What's the plan?
Sure. Well, part of the vision I'm happy to share, we're being pretty public with it, is we see gaps. We see an opportunity. I don't mean to be negative on anything. Printing, which I love, you love, is really about what I call the execution side of the game. And I love the old school craftsman mentality, and we've talked about that before. But printers have been fairly slow to try to get on the strategic side of 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 answering the why and how, and ultimately being responsibility for the results of what you produce. So starting years ago, and we're getting better and better every day, and this is what we really are putting pedal down on, is we want that strategic seat at the client's decision-making table. We want to be responsible for delivering the strategy as to why and where you should spend your marketing dollars. And then we want to produce it. We want to be part of execution and ultimately be held responsible for the results. And if the results are terrible, does it really matter if it's an award-winning printed piece? Not at all. Clients don't care. Everything's getting more expensive. Clients are watching their budgets. Postage is going up, but God bless the U.S. Postal System. They're great partners for us,
Yeah.
and they're doing some great strategic things. But the fact is, it's just costly. The cost of online advertising is growing faster than postage. So, the marketing executives of the world, they're really having to focus more and more on that ROI question. And so we love that environment. That's exactly where we're shaping ourselves. And now we want to expand regionally and then nationally. So I think you'll see us some news in the future from Atlanta to Richmond and Raleigh to Nashville, or areas we're trying to expand to. And we love our location in the Triad from a logistics standpoint, with the FedEx hub and Amazon and what the U.S. Postal Service is doing. We have some real logistical advantages now. So anyway, that's a thumbnail of everything I can get into, but we really see some opportunities for us.
No, but that's, first of all, it's always nice to have a list of things that you're doing and, goals that you're striving for. And just listening to you, with the way you're looking at things and the markets you want to attack and the responsibility, I think it's amazing. I think we in the print industry, we've been behind the eight ball, I think, for a long time. There's a lot of great companies out there like yourself that do a lot of good things, but I think the majority, unfortunately, in our industry is not thinking that way. I think maybe it's a bit more in the survival, get the work in for the month, and they're not going far enough in their planning, and maybe they don't even know now how to take the time to do it. And then you need the stomach to make it through it.
Sure.
Right. So what would you say to some of the other people out there, because you've been doing it so long? How would you get started, or what are the thoughts you put into your head? The first baby steps.
Sure. Be bold and stop doubting yourself. Again, this is where I love print. Print, and I wrote a book on it, as we talked about last time I was on, so I won't pitch that. But printers have always been. There you go. All right.
Sorry, you don't want to pitch what?
That's right. That's what it's all about. Presence and profitability. That's still as relevant today. And printers, going back to Ben Franklin, have always been at the center of communication technology. Well, if we still are today, well, that includes this horrible thing that our industry originally said was not good. That is a data collection device. That's really all it is. And that data is what drives print. It's frankly what drives most of print today and in the near future. So why not get on that side of understanding that? As a print salesperson myself, I found myself sitting in meetings where with high level leaders, knowledge leaders, where I was like, oh, I knew that from this other job I did. I knew that from this other job. Oh, have you considered this strategy? And just over years of servicing my clientele, I started to sit in these meetings and go, there's nothing being discussed in these meetings that I do not already know.
Mm-hmm.
And in fact, I have another idea or two that I'll put forward. And so just be humble, but being bold enough to say, I have another strategy that worked with a different client, and perhaps you should consider that. Just as a first step, start right there. I think the printing industry would be shocked how quickly the clients will go, what did you just say? Come in here, let's talk. And once you get on that strategy side, you're not quoting a job based on your hourly rates. And that's just a tough game to play because there's so many great printers out there.
Yeah, it's not a game. I mean, I remember we used to go out and sell, and part of the pitch was like, we want to sit in the meeting when you're discussing it. Like, we'll sign whatever you want, kick us out if there's something you're going to use, something we shouldn't hear. But really, why wouldn't you have us there? We're the professionals. People bring you in to do your end of stuff somewhere else. Yeah. And I just, sometimes they would allow, maybe it's changing a little bit more now. But I find, again, in the industry, the salespeople aren't pushy enough, but pushy in a respectful way, to let them know how important we are. Like
we call that taking the strategic seat at the client's decision-making table. And as printers, we've always been humble in that agency partners are very important partners. Today, data partners are very important partners. There are lots of high-level marketing executives out there. So we've been very reluctant to sit in that seat with our own ideas. And my push is plop down, make your butt big in that seat, and don't be afraid to put your mind forward. And once you start getting traction on that, once you start understanding data, all of a sudden the world opens up to you, and it's a very different ballgame.
Yeah, and we have, people I used to like to let the customers know, like you said, you're not my only customer. We've done this thing and like it with other people. Yeah. Because they think that they're the only ones sometimes to have done it. And then once you're a salesperson, once you mention that, then they got a little bit more of an ear. Yes. Oh, you know something, we just have to open up. And it's like I always say, the print industry is really the most important industry, because without us, no one's selling anything anywhere. Doesn't matter what it is.
Yep.
Right.
And we are the center of, I love print. I love the industry. It about killed me to drop printing out of my name, but I had to. And I will tell everybody, I no longer compete in the printing industry. I compete in the corporate communication industry.
Bingo.
And almost everything I sell is strategy that goes from digital to physical reality. But I'm selling corporate communications. I'm selling the why, I'm selling the strategy, and I'm responsible for the results. That's a huge industry. And as big as the printing industry is, that industry is about 10 times bigger than the printing industry. So it has fewer competitors, much more open environment from a price game. I don't mean a lot, but a couple percentages makes a big difference. And that's the place to be.
Yeah, it's value. Everybody wants value. It doesn't matter who you are, what industry you're in, or what you're buying. You want value, and you want it delivered in a nice, respectful way that you could engage.
Yep, exactly right. Yes.
Exactly. Wow. Yeah. Oh my God. I love talking to you. Like you just got a good spin on it, and you've put yourself in the right mindset. And when I'm out trying to consult with people, honestly, that's all I'm trying to do. I mean, I want to make a living, but I want to make sure that people hold their head high, that they do it right, that they promote their companies in the way that they need to attract the business, to make sure that the people in the business are part of a team, right? I remember there was a gentleman, the late Larry Kendall, took me to his company, Cameo Craft, and he was in his 70s at the time. And when we walked around, and the business, he was third. There was a third generation company, And when I walked around, he knew the name of every employee. He stopped to talk and, hey, Jack, how's it going? And at the end, I was just like amazed. So, you just got to make everybody part of it and bring everybody in. And the people appreciate when they meet the customers.
Well, there's a real business side to what you're talking about, because once you start getting into strategy and being responsible for results, we honestly believe. I was in a sales meeting this morning, and a couple of salespeople said, I love my job because I'm actually honestly trying to help my clients. If we're delivering results for clients, we're helping their business. We're honestly, what we're selling is we want to help them improve their business. And that can be an honest statement. It's not just a sales pitch for raw profit. There's nothing wrong with profit.
Absolutely not.
But it sure makes you feel good. And as you said, it gets the whole company involved when your name, Salem One, your brand is about helping organizations. And ultimately, us growing our knowledge set, us getting better at what we do, is about getting better for our clients to make their business better. That's a nice place to be in this day and time.
Nobody really likes cliches ever, no matter what the situation is, but, win-win for everyone really is true. And everyone has to benefit.
Yes.
In order to be a success.
Yes. And times are so challenging. Let me not be too rosy. There's nothing easy today. Cost, inflation, just the challenges of life,
Life is brutal these days with everything going on in the world, global change, catastrophes, disasters, right? Regular stuff. No one, I don't think anyone's really comfortable and super, super happy.
Exactly right. I talk going out to dinner now. It's not the most restful thing. Your server, the new cook, it's just a stress, everything's stress, stress, stress. So when in your own work, you can honestly be working, one, to take care of yourself and family, but two, for an honest view of trying to help and make things better. It's a good time to believe that now in this world. And I don't see that part of the world changing much too soon.
Yeah. Well, we're going to keep doing what we do. And you're obviously going to keep doing what you do because you don't know how to stop.
Amen.
So good on that one. We're gonna wrap it up now because the next thing we get into, we'll be into for another half an hour, and I don't know if anyone's going to listen to an hour and a half of us or an hour. But again, thank you just always for everything you have to say. It's just so straight. It's clean, it's respectful, but it's real. It's the real deal of, more people need to do what you're doing and adopt it to be successful for them and their customers and their employees. It's really kudos.
Thankful for that. I like to speak out. I like to speak with folks similar minded. I love what you do because our industry as a whole can do what I'm talking about and should lead. This is a great industry that full of great folks. We are what powers America, and I think it's a great thing. And I've been fortunate to grow up in it. And that's
Canada, just because I'm in Canada.
North America. How
North
about
America? Okay, that's good. I accept.
I like my northern friends.
Awesome. Okay, everybody, I'm not going to say any more other than I hope you enjoyed this conversation. I did. And come back, stay tuned, and listen for more conversations. Warren Werbitt, Printer to Printer. I love print.